G'day, Cactus here, coming to you from Bedford Mills, near Kingston, near Westport, Ontario. I'm on another adventure on my scooter again, and I'm heading down to New York, to the States. And we're gonna tour around there and see what we see. Brought my camping gear again. I forced myself to go camping. I'm not getting rained on yet, so it shouldn't be a hotel night. We'll see. But check out this Bedford Mills. This beautiful little pond. And this gorgeous willow tree. Bedford Mills. So it's obviously an old fieldstone mill on a pond. It doesn't appear to be a wheel anymore. Really fascinating. There's the old Yami scooter, the 50cc Zuma, 4-stroke, liquid cooled, fuel injected. I left the Petawawa Pembroke area at about 8 in the morning, and now it's 1 o'clock, and I've used probably $10 worth of gas, maybe $9 or $10 Canadian high price gas. Let's get some shots here. So there used to be probably tubes and things. There's a dam up there. Little tubes to channel the water down, and the water wheel would have been down here somewhere. Oh, it went into there. Isn't that something? Some ancient history. This old tin-clad building here. See some electrical things in there for making electricity. Quaker State. Cool. Private property. For sale. Wow. Anybody want to buy an old mill? It appears to be a house. Anyway, we're gonna head for the Wolf Island Ferry, Kingston, and take that to across the St. Lawrence River to the American side, and see where we end up. Wolf Island is very windy. Just got off the ferry. We're crossing Wolf Island. We're gonna go to the little ferry to the American side. There's windmills everywhere on Wolf Island. Well, sir, the Horns Ferry at the other end of Wolf Island has not shown up. So there's nothing online saying it's delayed or the hours changed or it's not running at all. So I'm going back, get on the main ferry back to the mainland, and find a bridge to the USA. Either today or tomorrow. It's 10 to 4, probably not today. Hey, next morning, 31 July. Spent the night in a cheap motel in Gananoque and just crossed the bridge and came over to the New York side, so we're here. Here we are, let's see what we get into. Just stopped to take a little break at a creepy old graveyard. And there'll be some oldies down here. This is old country. No, I did not sleep here. I slept in a motel. We've got to get to camping though. Get some camping in. Hopefully the weather holds out. So next we'll check Google Maps and see what small roads we can take to get south. Alexandria Bay. I decided to come into town because I had no service. I didn't know if my roam as you go feature was engaged. So we're back on track. I think we've got a route. And this is a gorgeous little waterside tourist town. That's a museum there. And that, I believe, is Bolt Castle. There's a story behind Bolt Castle. I don't recall. Some rich guy, some widower. I don't remember. But this is the Thousand Islands, the St. Lawrence River. Okay, we're heading south. Just a bit of Alexandria Bay here. Look at that rockin' neon sign. Cocktail lounge. Back in the day. Looks pretty plain in there. This would be like the main drag. Another old sign. Beautiful. Old homestead. Dining and rooms. Très cool. Old school driving. We have one of these where I live too. Still hanging in there. This one's fancier though. A fancier building. Ours is just a little block building. But what the drive-ins need is some epic movies to come out again, because movies have sucked in the last many years. But there's a few good ones coming out now. On we go. It's crazy cold out for 31 July. I'm kind of getting chilly on this here scooter. Strange weather. From scorching hot to almost cold. Grrr! I don't know why these GoPros go dead. Just sitting around doing nothing, resting in the scooter, and it goes dead. So I got a battery pack plugged into it. Anyway, I just stopped in one of the many crumbly New York State towns of Leland, and there was a bit of a piece of a canal that was left beside the highway. Apparently a canal used to run through the town, and I didn't film the town, but I've gone many miles outside of town, and between the divided highway is more remnants of the canal. And here it is. Interesting. I'd like to do a read-up on this place and see what the deal is. So, you know, the canal would have kept on going and going and going. It must go to a main body of water. I'll have to check my phone. I'd say we're south probably 50, 60, 70 miles of Watertown. Now, I know everything back in the day was quite heavy industrial, New York State in parts. But whatever was going on here back in the day is not going on now by any means. That little town of Leland was not looking too good. Had some interesting old twisty buildings that I should have filmed, but I did not. So I'm going to need to get this camera and this Volta stick that's just forever confusing me charged up and make sure it's working right, and start capturing some more things. These are probably original old stairs. Well, ain't that something? A narrow little canal for barges. Probably was handy at one time for hauling resources. What a strange thing to see in the middle of nowhere. Aha! Information. So it was linked into the Erie Canal, which is a long one. There's actually a lot more canals going on in this country than you think. Still filled with water ones and long gone ones like this one. So it was abandoned in 1926. Trains took over. And today, it's a big cheese area, big dairy area, this part of New York. 109 locks along the 35-mile route. Wow, that's a lot of locks. That's a lot of locks. I've just come down a little further because I seen this sign. But we gotta go. Just another small town, Upper New York State. This is a mill that still runs. Some sort of a seed mill, flour mill. All wood clad, limestone. You can actually drive right under here. That's where I came from. And check this out. It was water powered. Isn't that neat? Wow. Cool. There's so much stuff like this. Very interesting. See, I don't mind stopping because I don't know where I'm going today. Don't know where I'm staying. Don't know if I'm camping, moteling. The time is 1:37. Lots of time. Boonville. Old-time hotels in Boonville. I wonder if you can still get rooms there. And there's the American Hotel. And the old train station. Looks like a residence now. And I didn't get shots of downtown, their main square, kind of a triangle, with a gazebo in the center. One of those town squares, with the big courthouse as a centerpiece. Very nice, very nice. Kratzy's Bar and Grill. Well. So, just kept driving today and seeing lots of neat, twisty, crumbly buildings and old history. That old canal, so cool. Anyway, I'm in Utica tonight, Utica, New York, and it's a rough town. It's got a bit of a reputation, so I put the bike in the hotel room at the old Red Roof Inn. I hope they don't mind. I just feel it has a good grounds out there and everything, but I feel better just putting it in here, knowing what I know about Utica. Utica's got great food though. If you're looking for great Italian food, this is the place. Good stuff. I got like this steak sub with everything on it. It was super yummy. Anyway, tomorrow's August. We'll see you then. Night night. Just did a drive-by at this place. It looks like it's not lived in anymore. But this is just a typical huge New York country house that's... They always cut the grass. Although I'm sure nobody's living in it. Look at the gigantic trees. Absolutely stunning. Very nice. Always amazes me how they're so concerned with cutting the grass. Woo! Lots of cars all of a sudden. And check this out. This army truck thingy here. It looks like one of those deuce and a half. In Canada we call them MLVWs. But it looks like it's been chopped down and made into a more functional civilian type truck. Pretty neat. I like it. All right. On we go. Beautiful morning. Crazy cold, 1 August. Insanely cold. We're heading back north. I was going to go to Montreal and look at a van to convert into a camper, but I noticed just re-examining it today on the dashboard that there's no air conditioning switch. That's why the price is so good. It's a 2008 Econoline 350 with no air conditioning. Can you imagine? Didn't know they even made that anymore of it. So change of plans. We're gonna head north. Near the town of Stratford, New York, the little village, the little hamlet, and vintage school bus alert. What do we got here? I can't see. It's like one of those old GMCs or Chevys. V6. Oh, well, that's one of those old American heavy-duty V6s. There we go, GMC down there. See it? Cool. Let's get a shot here. Could you imagine? It's like a Suburban type thing. Could you imagine finding one of these in mint condition? Wow. That is rare. It's too bad I can't get a good shot on it. GMC made a V6 back in the day that was pretty heavy duty, and they used it in heavy trucks actually. Not something that was very common in Canada. Okay, I think we're up in the forested mountains here, maybe around a state park. We're going to carry on. It's freezing cold. I'm dying. Absolutely freezing out. I'm dying here. August 1st, unreal. Welcome to Long Lake, up in the Aderondacks, New York State. Long Lake. Little shack serving noshes. And while in Long Lake, be sure to check out the Adirondack Hotel. It all kind of reminds me of home, except for these big fancy buildings. They don't spare the expense on the big fancy buildings. Okay, let's hit the road. Needs a paint job. Then I barely get down the road and there's another one. Random graffiti rock in the Adirondacks. Hey, and a Canada flag. This sticks out like a sore thumb. Wow. Did this get blasted out of the top of a tornado back in the making of the earth? Who knows? Jesus Christ, look at me, I'm dressed for winter. It's absolutely freezing. I don't know what temperature it is. It's, I'll say it feels like, in Celsius, sorry Americans, it feels like 10 or 12 degrees. Maybe it's warmer, but I'm hoping it's going to get better when I get out of the mountains near the St. Lawrence River. And I'm just praying for the best. I bought some socks at a Dollar General because I only had running shoe socks, low cut socks. I was getting pretty cold. But let's keep on trucking. Snack bar in the mountains in the middle of nowhere. Looks like an original old barn, and it's been closed a long time. Now, I am worried about ticks in this southern climate here. I don't want to get too submerged. Oh boy. We'd be needing a light. It's a bathroom. Wow. It had ductwork and everything. Beautiful timbers. Lots to salvage. Left to rot. I don't think there's much to see. Another old garage here. All caved in. Cinder blocks, they're still in good shape. Oil heater. Big fireplace hearth. Wow, it's like somebody was living in here one time. It wasn't actually that bad. It just got left to rot. Alright. Shake off my hair here. Make sure there's no ticks. Okay, let's get out of here. I'm almost at the border with Ontario, back in Canada. Still on the New York side. I just left the town of Madrid. So I have to decide when I get to the St. Lawrence River if I think I want to stay one more night in the American side or the Canadian side. Kind of comes down to what do we think is cheaper. So camping's a bust. It's not going to happen. It's more warm here. I might be overdressed now, actually. Feels good. Boy, I'd love to go in there. Too many cars around though. All right, we're gonna get to the next town and make a plan. And another couple of miles up the road. That's a nice stone one. How could someone abandon that? And you can work with that so easily. Bit of mortar, a bit more stone. So we're would have been a nice country home. Brockville, Ontario. We're back in Canada. Spent the night at a, I won't say cheap, nothing's cheap in Brockville. Fancy Victorian tourist town. But in a less expensive motel, very nice motel. And paid the piper. So no camping again, it's too bloody cold. It's supposed to be a nice day today, but I think it was colder up in those mountains in the Aderondacks in New York. But here we are. I should be home this afternoon sometime. We're going to take all these cross-country back roads, and we'll do a wrap-up when we get there. And we'll see what we see on the way there. But first, coffee. Brockville Tunnel, railway tunnel. Take a pause there and have a read. I was wondering, because the road goes on a hump like this behind City Hall. I thought that was strange, but there's an old railway tunnel here, and it was not a spur, but it was a line that ran up to Sand Point. That's by Arnprior, outside of Ottawa. Oh, well, this is probably where you enter it. Wow, check this out. That is creepy. We're gonna have to come here and check that out someday. Apparently back there on Victoria Street is the other end. I might go have a look at that before I go find coffee. Getting distracted. It's a beautiful day. The last day. Well, the trip ended up being a lot shorter than I planned. It was just too cold. Okay, let's go to Victoria Street. Well, I found the other end. So we end up walking 1,700 and some feet through the tunnel, the lit tunnel with the music, and it looks pretty freaky. It's something, a must do thing. If you're ever in Brockville, do the Brockville Railway Tunnel. And you pop out here, and you will be able to take a lovely stroll through a neighborhood full of gigantic Victorian mansions. It's really, really nice town. Very picturesque. Okay. Definitely coffee. Here we go. An Ontario abandoned farm just outside Brockville. Now we're not going to see as many because we got a lot less population on the Canada side. And there just seems to be a lot less abandoned things, and very much more spread out. And check out the roads. Like, shout out to New York State. 90-some% of the rural roads have a paved shoulder, even a really large paved shoulder, as wide as one lane, even way up the mountains. But they're pretty cheap here in Ontario. They don't like splurging on the soft shoulder for the bicyclist and the only guy on the scooter. Out. I don't think they have any electricity concerns or worried about an expensive bill. That is a lot of solar in a weird house. I wonder if they sell to the grid. I bet you they do. Interesting. Near Merrickville, Ontario. If you're looking for lawnmower parts, riding tractor parts, check out Road 41 near Merrickville. He probably has what you're looking for. Oh my God. That one even has a metal cab. That's a lot of lawnmowers. Little hamlet of Easton's Corners. Wow. Someone put some windows in it. That would be a marvelous business, or even a house. Smiths Falls, Ontario. There's something about an old sign that strikes me. And at least they're hanging on to the sign, just a ode to the past, because it is now Bistro Polo, which I assume is some sort of Latino place. Nicer things to see in Smiths Falls. Lots of limestone architecture and Victorian places. My buddy Derek got married in Smiths Falls to his lovely wife Caroline, who's from Smiths Falls. What else? Hershey Factory used to be in Smiths Falls. Now it's a cannabis factory. It's one of my nephew's first adult jobs, and he hated it. He's been long gone from there. Anyway, on we go. Just a little peek at the Smiths Falls Rail Museum. We're not going to go in and waste away the day here. Just a quick peek. Wow, these things were incredible. Just fire-breathing dragons, spitting steam and black smoke. Amazing. There's even some old relics all the way down there that they need to work on one day. I don't know if you can see in there. And the rail station's all preserved. Need some paint though. Looks better than the one I seen in Mattawa. They left that to rot. Okay, I gotta get down here somewhere. Step through here. Those little maintenance buggies. Lots of volunteers hard at work. Rail enthusiasts. Look at this deluxe buggy here, all enclosed. And this awesome Cadillac rail car, Canadian Pacific. What's the story with that? Wow. She needs some paint. That is wicked. Is that where the big boss rode in, or dignitaries? What a car. What a car just by itself, but with rail wheels on it. My word. Incredible. Anywho, this is something else I also need to stop into one day and actually see it. Need to do like a big museum tour, starting in the Ottawa Valley. All the little museums that I haven't been to, like Eganville. There's even a tiny one in Chichester, Quebec. I imagine Renfrew has one. Okay, we're getting out of this town. Just thought I'd mention, I got into a bit of a car chase. Some gorilla and a beat up old Sunbird tried to sideswipe me when I was driving right here. And I kind of raised my hand up a bit, and he pulled over, and he was huge and old and ready for a heart attack, and he come charging at me, asked me if I want to talk about it a-hole. And I kind of told him where to go and turned around, and he started chasing me through town. So I took some shortcuts and some paths, and I lost him. Pretty crazy. Some angry people out there. Gotta be careful on the scooter. Cactus out. Shout out to the old Jeep Wrangler Cherokee and the rare Jeep truck. 3/4 ton Jeep truck. Even more rare. Plow truck. Cool. Welcome to Lanark, Ontario. What used to be a bustling little community and could be a great little tourist town has been left to rot. There are some nice places, but there are some rough places too. Like this big old place here. Might have been a mill at one time. Possibly turned tavern. It has a bit of a newer front put on it, but it's rotten. The roof is caved in. Pretty rough shape. Nice old limestone building. Might actually still be savable. Just gut it out, put new trusses on, new floors. We shall see. So here's the other side of it. Boy, what a place that could be. Yeah, not impossible, just it would just be a shell. Get rid of that cinder block stuff, but you could have patios on the water here, on the river. You have a sweet little inn with a restaurant. Just a bloody shame. Maybe one day somebody will invest in fixing it up. I stayed in this town last summer. I was on a bicycle camping trip, and I did about 150k that day. Not bad for an old boy. And I was getting into this town rather late, and I had to set up camp somewhere, and I just couldn't see anywhere that made sense. There was a high school that I could have went behind for the night, but I was concerned with people coming along, so I ended up camping in a graveyard, the back of an old creepy like Spooky Hollow type graveyard. But it was fantastic. I was on the bottom of a little knoll of a hill, and out of sight from everywhere, and had a good old sleep. It worked out. Check this interesting place out. Stone and brick. Quite overgrown. Somebody living in it. Here's an interesting old stone building. Looks like a city hall or public school. It was a school. Now it's apartments. Jesus. Nice building. Given that I'm so close, I'm going to give you a quick little tour of this graveyard here. Show you where I stayed. So this place was like my last chance hope to set up camp and get some rest. Where was I? Yeah, I was way down there at the bottom. Actually the flat part right there. There's a little tiny wall, nice and level. So well out of sight if anybody came walking through. Nobody did. On the other side is the backyard of Main Street, large backyards. And there's one particular house that stood up. It was full of young methed out hillbillies on cheap Chinese ATVs whipping around, and they were making a racket. And as soon as it got dark, it went quiet, so that was good. I was afraid it was gonna be noisy all night. But yeah, would sketch a few people out, but I guess I was okay with it. We'll do a little drive around here to get some more shots and hit the road. So this area just of Lanark, maybe a 2-hour or less drive from the Pembroke and Petawawa area, the Upper Ottawa Valley. It's an older area, you know, settled a lot more early than where I'm from. And they were once grand places. Look at this cast iron fence. Got a whole family in here. Caldwell, all related. I tell you, when I was walking around here at dusk, it sure was creepy. But if there's ghosts, I'm not really afraid of them. They've never done nothing to me. Look at the intricate cast iron. Well, this is so old, there's nobody left to really look after it. No family heritage maybe to speak of. Everybody's maybe moved on. Really nice. Well, there's another fenced in one. Pretty neat. So many old graveyards are just not tended to like they should be, because everybody concerned is gone. Well, here's another exit. In the USA, they're grander because I guess they're older down there, and especially in the south, in the deep south, in Georgia and places, you have those live oaks with the hanging Spanish moss coming down the trees, and they're really creepy. And there's Civil War burials there and stuff going back to the 1700s. Really interesting. Look at this beauty sitting by the side of the road. International. Somebody took the headlights. What a sight to behold. Okay, 1:30. This is a Gora Hill Road. This is like an old pioneer road, and it goes out to the highway that goes 132 to Renfrew, and we'll cross there. We'll get on another pioneer road, maybe called Haas Road. I'm not sure, but it's a little more cross-country, direct to almost the town of Douglas I want to get to. Not that it's going to be fast or I'll be driving slow because it's a bit of a trail. We got time to play around. Let's check it out. Not bad. Well, 5 minutes to get to civilization here. I assume there's an old farm in there. So now it's a maintained road. You can actually drive a car through there if you go slow. So we got a little bit further across the highway, get on another Pioneer Road, and then 1 or 2 more Pioneer Roads, and we'll pop out on the Highway 60, which is the 2-lane road. We'll see what's next. In the Ottawa Valley again. All right, time to stop driving with one hand, risking my life for a shot, and get going. Back on the blacktop, just outside the little village of Douglas, little farm village in Mennonite country. So we're gonna book it for home as much as I can book it on a scooter, and I don't think there's anything new and interesting to me anyway that between here and there. So maybe another hour of full throttle 60 kilometers an hour, and we'll see you there. Out. Back in the Pembroke-Petawawa area, well, mainly Pembroke. That was a great trip. It was pretty frigid cold up there in the Aderondacks. I don't know if that's the cool mountain air or what. Again, I chickened out at camping. It wasn't so much rain this time, it was just cold. I was freezing all day, and I couldn't crawl into a cold tent all night without like a winter sleeping bag. It was cold. Really spectacular sights and scenes. Lots to see in the USA. Everybody was pretty respectable with the scooter, making a big wide berth for me until I got to Smiths Falls, and I had some big chubby psychopath come running at me, wanting to kill me because I flipped him off. He came a little close. It was dangerous. Anyway, it's doable. It's so doable. The scooter travel is totally doable. There's back roads everywhere, and it's a really good time. I'm a little ashamed I didn't camp at all. Today is gorgeous in the Ottawa Valley. But anyway, I'm going to guesstimate. I was supposed to do a calculation of kilometers. I would say about 1,400 kilometers or so. Didn't pay for too much gas. It's cheaper in the States. Gas for sure was under $100 bucks. What else? Lodging, that hemorrhaged money. Hotels, motels. It was only a 3-day trip too. So it's amazing. It's 60 to 65 kilometers an hour where you can get in a day. It's just a little slower. So yeah, good times, really good times. I highly endorse it. Unfortunately, in this province, you need a motorcycle license to ride these 50cc scooters, or a limited speed motorcycle license. So it makes it a little challenging, I guess. I hope you can see me okay. I can see blades of grass in that camera there. So we're gonna sum it up. Mama, I'm coming home. Get some fresh food. I'm kind of sick of eating out. Join me next time. I'm looking at possibly a van down in the Toronto area to get a camper van going again, and I would take the scooter down there. If I purchased it, I'd put the scooter in the back. So I'm still off for another week and a bit. And then I'm retiring this fall. So anyway, I'm Cactus. Thanks for watching Out and About. We shall see what we get into next time. That's it. That's all. I snuck up here from the hotel down below through the field. I'm sure everybody's up here looking at me like I'm some kind of weirdo. That's all right. Out for now. Thanks for watching. Take care.